Ah, hey all, it's your numerical lion back with another late night video here in the early hours of March 11th, and going to talk about rigged sports and the narrative, the news narrative. So Dallas Mavericks beat the San Antonio Spurs last night, Wednesday night, 115 to 104, and I'll show you why 115 is interesting, and I'll break it down for you really. Mavericks pull away late to beat Spurs 115 to 104. Let's look at this highlight here. Notice it starts. Mavericks have 102 um, points here, and the Spurs have 97. I'll show you why that's interesting. This is a 25-second clip, and that's interesting too. It's all interesting, really. Um, this is in reference to Biden. Biden 25. They've got a also the 102 refers to the Dallas Mavericks. Dallas Mavericks 102. They have 102 points. This is the clip they decide to play, right? And if you can make out the numbers here, let's see. When they start it, when you actually can make it out here. Let's start this again. And see here when it goes into focus. Terrible focus. Anyway, they show number 42, number 5, and number 10. I don't know if you caught that. I didn't really. But those numbers, 5 equals 42, 10 equals 42, and this comes after talk about LaMarcus Aldridge basically getting his release from, I was about to say the Blazers, but LaMarcus 25 from the Spurs, if I can speak. LaMarcus Aldridge. And notice they had 104 points in the game, and this very interesting thing. And then, of course, Aldridge 42 and 60, just like the N-word. They just got to put that in there. So let's read a little bit of the recap here. So Luka Doncic had 22 points, 12 rebounds, 12 assists. 12 is a big number in this. They had 102 points. Dallas Mavericks equals 102. I'll show you why 12 is interesting as well in this story here. In fact, if you add up their combined score, it equals 219, and the numerology of that is 12. So anyway, he had 12 rebounds, 12 assists, and his 33rd triple-double. I'll show you why that's interesting. 33, always a big number. Kristaps Porzingis had 28. Notice they scored 28 in that fourth quarter, that pivotal fourth quarter where they just ran away with the game. They went on a 17-4 run, kind of like 174, like what? Number of the beast. And that is relevant. Number of the beast. And also, it seemed like that clip was like 2 minutes and 58. There's 2 minutes and 58 seconds left in the game when they show it. I don't know if you can see that. Let's make it bigger here. Oh, it looks like 3 minutes maybe. 3 minutes. And when it starts going, it's 2:59, I think. God, that's hard to see. Whew. All right, I'm not going to waste any more time with that. That is really hard to see. So before the game, Coach Popovich announced that Aldridge, who's 35, which is a big number in this, notice Dallas had 35 in the fourth. Actually see it. They had 35. So Aldridge is 35 years old. They got to tell you that. And his sixth season will no longer be the team by mutual agreement. Say he's a great teammate. DeMar Rosen has 30 points. 30, that N-word. 30 is a big number in this. And San Antonio was rebounded 51 to 30. Again with the 30, I'll show you why that's interesting. And look, Porzingis, 12 games, 7 of his last 12 games. So let's get to the decode here. There's so much. I went a little nuts with this. So 2 Texas teams, and maybe think of the whole thing going on with Texas and Mexico and the border situation. Dallas scores 115 points tonight, as I mentioned, right, in the contest. And Coach Carlisle, he's got 115 numerology where he was born in 59. 115 numerology. And this from the Epoch Times that I did a video. This is the last video I did, actually. Well, no, not the last one, but the one before that, about illegal border crossings hit more than 101,500 in February. And notice in numerology you drop the 0, so that's 115. Another 115 for you. They're calling this the Biden border crisis, equals 115. Migrants equals 115. And, all right, we're talking about migrants. And 11 and 5 have a relationship. 11 is the 5th prime number. Also the master number. So then there's a correlation between Carlisle and the DHS secretary, Majorkas. They both were born in 1959. Spurs get 59 points in the first half. The 2 teams score 59 points in the first quarter. And Majorkas' birth number, he was also born in 59. Him and Carlisle born in 59. So there's a link here between the Mavericks, Rick Carlisle, and the Homeland Secretary, Majorkas, and Joe Biden. So San Antonio had 86 points after 3 quarters. 86 points, 32, 27, and 27 is 86. I did the math. That's interesting because border crisis equals 86. And there's a story that we were talking about overwhelming, and Department of Homeland Security Secretary is 443, which is interesting because it's the 86th prime. Okay. Got to know your prime numbers. And Rick Carlisle equals 87. Guess how many points the Mavericks had? They had 87 points after 3 quarters. 27 plus 25 plus 35 is 87. Right? And 87 plus 86 after 3 quarters is 173. And so where you get the overwhelming reporting is from Fox News. I did a story about this, and it said the overwhelming number of migrants, overwhelming is emphasized, seen at the border had Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Majorkas asked for volunteers in his agency to help deal with the crisis. So that's where the overwhelming comes from. And guess what overwhelming equals? Equals Department of Homeland Security Secretary equals 173. And overwhelming equals 173. It's overwhelming, isn't it? So Dallas scored 35 points in the third. You can see right here, 35 points. Notice they played 35 games, 19 and 16. 35. This was their 35th game, and they scored 35 points. 35, a big number. And this guy, Alejandro Majorkas, was born with 35 numerology. 11 plus 24 is 35. And I mentioned that in my last video that I did, or the one before it, I can't remember. Border is 35 as well. Right? LaMarcus Aldridge, 35 years old. Trump said this, that in that Fox News story, our country is being destroyed. That equals 350 or 35. Look, destroyed is 115, right? The Mavericks score 115 points. Just a coincidence, I think. I don't know. And then if you look at the map, Dallas to San Antonio is a straight shot on I-35, right? Interstate 35. Isn't that interesting? In 4 hours and 16 minutes, I checked it out, it is 256 minutes, 256, which is, the square root is 16. 16, and the Mavericks stayed on 16 losses. And if you write out 16, just for fun, 16 equals 33. So, and also the 93 and 39, which are big numbers in this. Mexico, same numbers basically, and Texas as well. So that's what's going on there. So also, if you look from all the way, it goes all the way to the Mexican border, 35, from Fort Worth, Dallas, Fort Worth to San Antonio. Next stop, Laredo, right? So you just take 35 to the border. How appropriate. How very appropriate. And this is a crisis, crisis 49. They're calling it a crisis 49. And Dallas has been the news. Dallas 49, a number of revelation. And also about 69. March 10th is the 69th day of the year. Dallas Mavericks equals 69. Right? And Texas equals 69. Mexico 69. This guy, his full name, the head coach, Carlisle, his full name equals 347. 347, the 69th prime. Right? And it's funny because it's 247 miles by plane from Dallas to San Antonio. This was just an interesting fact, and his full name equals 247. Dallas and San Antonio. Look at Rick Carlisle here. He's 6'5". He's born in 59, just like Majorkas from Ogdenville, New York, October 27th. Right? I have a friend who was born on the 27th. Same birthday. So from this game to his next birthday is exactly 33 weeks. That's pretty interesting, right? 33, of course, Spurs, and he's playing the Spurs. And it's all about Mexico. And Rick Carlisle, 33 and 33 is 66. Rick Carlisle, 66. This other guy, Alejandro, Majorkas, 66, right? Number of the Beast, 66. Texas, 66. And 29 days. These guys, Majorkas and Carlisle, are 29 days apart. Biden equals 29, right? From Biden's birthday, November 20th, his last birthday, to March 10th, the day of the game, is 111 days. Biden's birthday is November 20th. And the first half score, they get 111 combined points. I'm telling you, this stuff is crazy. Oh, did I mention Carlisle's 137, the 33rd prime. Reshuffling of 173. And the Spurs played their 33rd game of the year. This was their 33rd game. 18 plus 15 is 33. I think I neglected to mention that. But I'm mentioning it now. So, the 111 days is interesting. 111 first half points for both teams. 52 plus 59 is 111. Illegal immigration, 111. I was almost expecting somebody to have 111 points, but that didn't happen. Or 102, that was a big number in this. But they did show the clip that started with the Mavericks at 102. And look at this, Migrants and Mavericks. 101, 38, and 47. Dallas Mavericks, 102, as I mentioned before, or 12. That's LaMarcus Aldridge's number, 12. So more synchronicity with LaMarcus Aldridge. I didn't really realize that until I read it, that they were releasing him. Majorkas' full name equals 102. Alejandro equals 35. I mean, how deep do you want to go? Unaccompanied children, you know, this crisis at the border, 102 as well. And Biden's border crisis, 120 or 12. It's all 12, you know. Biden's 35. Crisis 50. Kind of like America. And then they just got their 19th win, 19 wins, and overwhelming. I don't know if they were overwhelming, but I guess they were overwhelming in the fourth quarter. Both 151 and 70 and 173 and 65, the reflection of 56. So I thought that was fascinating. Carlisle is 6'5". And then to round it up here, National Basketball Association equals 113. Dallas equals 113. Majorkas equals 113. Majorkas was born with 113 numerology, number of deception. And then this gets back to the 30. Remember, they had 30 rebounds in the game. DeRozan had 30 points. 113, the 30th prime. Mexico and Texas. That's what this is about. Mexico and Texas and the border and illegal immigration. And so, yeah, I figured out the riddle, put some money down, and won. So that was the riddle for this game, Texas versus Texas. So thanks so much for your time. It's getting late. I got to get some sleep. This is your numerical lion. I'm not lying. I'm a lion. Signing out. And talk to you later, everybody. Have a great one.